You know, there are times when Jesus is a royal pain in the neck. And this is one of those times. You know, I said last week that here in the United States, we Americans, we tend to view everything through lenses. You know, if we got a pair of glasses, we have two lenses. One of them is politics, and the other is finance. Power and money. And one always leads to the other. If you have power, you get money. And if you have money, you can get power. It's kind of the way we view the world and the way we think of things. And then along comes Jesus. I mean, James and John pretty much were thinking like you and I. You know, Lord, we gave up everything. We followed you. I want to sit on your right, and he's going to sit on your left. We're going to be up there with you. Normal, excuse me. I think I'm allergic to dogs. Normal reaction. You know, we paid the price, we did the work, we get the reward. Isn't that the way we all think? And yet, Jesus turns it upside down and becomes very inconvenient. He said, if you wish to be the first, if you wish to be the leader, then you must become the servant of all. You must be the one who serves. We don't think like that. The world doesn't function like that. And yet the gospel does. Because we have in the gospel this totally fresh and new way of looking at the world. I mean, imagine if you and I, if everyone, were to put our egos aside and see that the first thing and the most important thing for each of us is to be of service to each other. Totally different world we'd live in. But you know, the only way that can happen is if we look around ourselves and see everything as gift. Because neither one of us made a choice of where we were going to be born, to whom we were going to be born, how we were going to be born, where we were going to be born, or when we were going to be born. All of that is beyond our control. All of it was an accident of God. None of us had any control over any of it. And so we begin to look at all the things that we have as gift, as resource, as what God has given us in this time, in this place, in this context, in order to live and be of service. Once we have that gratitude, once we have that perspective of life, as gift, then it's much easier for us to be of service to each other. For me to serve you, because you are, in this context with me, you are a gift of God to me. Hopefully, I'm a gift of God to you. And as a result, we can be of service to each other because we see ourselves as people that are living and moving in the presence of God, on the power of God. And I know we don't like to think that way. We all like to think, nonsense. I made my life. You know, God didn't make my life, I made my life. I got out, I worked it, I earned it, I shaped it. But get down to it. Everything that you worked with, everything that you became, is all rooted in the fact that you're alive. And that life begins in God. And everything grows out of that. I think it's once we have a firm grasp on that sense that in fact we don't control. That in fact we are God's gift to the world in this time and place. And every other person, every other experience is God's gift to us. Then in gratitude we respond. We respond with service. We respond by being careful of the people around us. We respond in being respectful of the people around us. We respond in all of these different ways that make up what we call servant leadership. It's the ability to live out of gratitude, knowing that all that we are, all that we have, all that we do has its foundation in God. Jesus is very inconvenient. He's not the God we want, but he is the God we need.